Hello friends, Jeanette here with Vivo Vintage Designs. Welcome to another Christmas card tutorial. In this tutorial I will be painting a snowman. Very simple, so please don't be intimidated. I know that watercolor can be intimidating to some people, but this is really simple. So I've got some Fabriano 25% cotton watercolor paper, and I've taken a pencil and lightly sketched out 3 circles for my snowman. And what I'm doing here is I am wetting down the outside of the snowman and dropping in some aquamarine. And because this paper is not great quality paper, I have to do one side at a time, because if I wet both sides, it'll dry before I can finish. So now I'm taking a little table salt while the paper is still nice and wet. And I'm adding a little table salt to the paper, and what that will do is it will create almost like a snow-like effect, because as the paint dries, the salt absorbs the paint and it gives this beautiful effect. You can see here that I need to change my towel because I picked up some paint and I'm just trying to clean it off. I'm not too bothered by it because it'll be fine. I'm just going to wipe it down as much as I can. I'm just putting some clean water, rubbing the paper a little bit, and then dabbing it with a clean paper towel to lift some of that pink off. So now here I'm doing the other side, and you can see I'm not trying to be too careful. I'm not trying to outline the snowman perfectly. I think that the less you try, the better it turns out. So now that I've finished the other side, I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of salt on that side, and then I'm going to let it dry naturally. This effect works best if your paper is nice and wet. If you put the salt down while the paper is damp, it doesn't work as well. So you can see here that it gives you a little bit of that snowy effect. And now I'm just brushing off the salt from the paper, and I'm going to use basically the same blue. This is ultramarine blue from my Muño pan paints. And I have a very diluted puddle in my palette there. And I am just using a smaller brush, and I'm adding a little bit of that blue just on one side and the bottom of each circle. And then I'm going to clean my brush and blend that color into the rest of each of the circles. So you can see here I'm just adding it on the side and the bottom, and then I'm cleaning off my brush and blending it in. And I'm kind of using squiggly, tappy kind of strokes to give it a little bit of texture. So I'm just making it a little bit darker, and then again cleaning my brush off and dabbing some of the water off of it. I don't want to add more water to the paper, so I make sure that I dab it on my towel, and then I blend that color out. And again, using kind of like tappy brush strokes so that I get a little bit of texture and it looks more like snow. So you see me cleaning off my brush and blending that color out a little bit. So there we go. We have our snowman. Now I've picked up a little Van Dyke brown, and using the very tip of my brush, I'm just putting in some branches for his arms. And you can see very easy, just running the tip of that brush across the paper, kind of jaggedy, crookedy little lines. And now he's got arms. Now I've picked up some orange, and I'm using the tip of the brush, and I'm just going back and forth, making little squiggly lines. and I've made it a little bit more broad at the base and then narrow as I got to the end to create his little carrot nose. And then I'll go back and add a little bit of detail to that little nose. But again, we're keeping this really simple. So here I've picked up a little bit of black for his eyes, and I'm leaving a little white space so that he has a sparkle in his eye. Now, if you don't want to do this using your watercolor paints, you can use micron pens. You can even use an ink pen or even a Sharpie. So using the tip of my brush, I've created his eyes and his little mouth, and now I'm using a darker orange to create a few little lines on his nose so that it looks more like a carrot. Now I'm going to use my larger brush. I'm going to pick up the same ultramarine blue, and I'm just going to kind of do a dry brush effect on the bottom there so that it looks like he's sitting on a mound of snow. And I'm leaving some white space also. And now I realize that I did not give this little guy a scarf. So I picked up a little, I think this one is called Scarlet. And I'm using the tip of my brush to just put a few lines down and give this little guy a scarf. You can go in with a gel pen and add some stripes to his scarf, which I may do later. But you can embellish it with a gel pen, micron pens, really cute and really simple. So now, after I've made sure that the scarf is dried, I'm picking up a little bit of that ultramarine blue and adding it a little shadow underneath the scarf and on one side. And there we have our finished little snowman. Very easy and very cute. I hope that you give this little guy a try. So please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Your interaction with my channel is really helpful and greatly appreciated. All right, everyone. Thanks so much for watching. I will see you in the next video. Bye.